Welcome to AI TV News. For years, conventional wisdom said a trade war would wreck the economy. Yet President Trump launched one, and by some measures, he's winning. What could that mean for the global economy and for you? First, the claim. The United States is winning. The administration has slapped high tariffs on foreign goods. Instead of the predicted meltdown, customs revenue is up, and many partners have so far swallowed the tariffs to avoid a bigger fight. The biggest development is a tentative deal with the European Union. Hours before a 30% U.S. tariff on all EU products was to take effect, the two sides struck an agreement the White House calls a generational modernization. Under it, most EU exports, cars, pharmaceuticals, and more, will face a 15% U.S. tariff. In exchange, the EU will drop its own duties on American industrial goods, invest $600 billion in the United States, and buy $750 billion in U.S. energy by 2028. Steep 50% tariffs on steel and aluminum stay in place. Even so, this victory is fragile. In Europe, leaders call the deal a relief, not a win. French Prime Minister François Bayrou labeled it a dark day, and Belgian Prime Minister Bart de Wever condemned the delusion of protectionism. All 27 EU members still have to ratify the pact. Any one of them could derail it. Talks with Canada, another top U.S. partner, have stalled as a Friday deadline looms. Despite Canadian concessions, the White House is still threatening higher tariffs, and negotiations are in what officials describe as an intense phase. Then there's China. A temporary truce expires in mid-August. If it lapses, tariffs could snap back to painful levels. Officials are discussing a 90-day extension, but the relationship remains on a knife's edge. A legal cloud also hangs over the strategy. On July 31st, a federal appeals court will hear whether the president even had authority to impose these tariffs. A lower court says he overstepped. The duties stay in place during the appeal, but a final loss would tear out the policy's legal foundation. How does all this hit your wallet? Overall inflation is still modest, but early warning lights are flashing. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reports rising prices for clothing, appliances, and computers. Retailers like Walmart say they'll have to raise prices. Automakers such as GM and Volkswagen warn of billion-dollar hits from tariff-driven costs. Most economists expect these increases to become more visible later this year. For households already coping with higher living costs, that could bite. So, is the U.S. really winning? For now, the scoreboard looks favorable. But the next moves, ratification in Europe, a deal with Canada, another truce with China, and a pivotal court ruling will decide whether the victory sticks or unravels, and whether the price lands on trading partners or on American consumers.